President Trump signs a healthcare executive order today, and we'll talk about how it will impact your healthcare rates. Plus, Athens holds a ribbon-cutting ceremony for its newest roundabout. And in sports, the Indians finished their season in a Game 5 loss. Newswatch starts right now.
Broadcasting live from WOUB TV in Athens, this is Newswatch.
President Trump takes a step toward his promise to dismantle the Affordable Health Care Act, also known as Obamacare, which could possibly affect how you get your insurance. Good evening, I'm Josh Gregory, and thanks for joining us. Trump is calling on his administration to develop policies to increase health care competition and choice. A White House official says Labor Department will study how to make it easier for small businesses and individuals to purchase health insurance.
This is going to be something that millions
through nationwide association health plans. The order also allows health care.
Three phases to our healthcare policy making. Phase one, which unfortunately has not happened in the Senate yet, but the House passed its bill. You passed legislation to repeal and replace. Phase two has been regulatory relief through the executive branch of the government, which is what this is. This is phase two. This is sort of the deregulation and the right sizing of our regulations of healthcare. It's always been planned all along because, again, we think the Obama administration went too far on the regulatory front. This is meant to address that.
Dr. Daniel Skinner is a health policy professor in Ohio University's Heritage College of Osteopathic Medicine. Skinner says there is great potential for the effects of the executive order to be felt in Southeast Ohio.
People in Southeast Ohio who are currently receiving their health care through these markets will still have access to marketplaces, but their rates in the long run would likely go up because of the kind of siphoning off that the executive order is seeking to do.
Exactly how the agencies would change current relations remain to be unseen. And a new report says it could be harder to sign up for Obamacare this fall. The Kaiser Family Foundation, a nonpartisan research organization, says more than 8 in 10 groups who help people enroll for Obamacare say they're getting less federal funding. Back in August, the Trump administration announced it would reduce their funding by 41%. The Kaiser survey says despite the funding cuts, most groups will continue to operate in 2018, but nearly all expect to lay off staff and reduce their advertising and outreach programs. Police in southern Ohio are searching for a man involved in a triple slaying and stabbing. 23-year-old Aaron Lawson has been charged with 3 counts of murder and 1 count of aggravated murder. The Lawrence County Sheriff's Office said deputies were called to an Elizabeth Township trailer yesterday evening where the 3 adults were found dead. Authorities also confirmed the body of an 8-year-old boy, Devin Holston, who was found inside the residence where the 3 adults were shot and killed. A 4th adult was found stabbed at a nearby residence and was flown to a hospital. A Canadian man will spend more than 5 years behind bars for possessing more than 290 pounds of cocaine. David Ayoda was caught last March when trying to transport the cocaine in a plane to Canada. The plane, having mechanical issues, was forced to make an emergency landing at Ohio University's Bush Airport. That's when officials searched the plane and found the drugs. Ayoda pleaded guilty to possession with intent to distribute more than 5 kilograms of cocaine. After a Scioto County crime spree across several days, a Wheelersburg man is now in custody. 8-year-old Jacob Canfield is charged with burglary, breaking and entering, and theft of firearms. Scioto County Sheriff Marty Donini, says his office received 3 different reports of stolen items such as electronics, cash, and firearms. 1 residence was broken into on October 7th, and the 2 others were on October 9th. Canfield's bond is set to more than $43,000. The investigation is still ongoing, and Donini says more charges will be presented at a later date. The road connecting Stimson and Mill Street officially has a name. The new access road will be called North 1804 Way. Athens Public Works held a ribbon-cutting ceremony this afternoon to commemorate the roundabout and road. Director Andy Stone says the city and campus came together to complete this project, which he says will improve the area as a whole.
It meets the campus master plan's goals, it meets the city's economic development goals, and it meets our future goals of reinvigorating Simpson Avenue as a major corridor coming into the city.
The project was funded by the city, Ohio University, the Appalachian Regional Commission, the Ohio Developmental Services Agency, and the Ohio Department of Transportation. The Peden football field will be seeing something a little different tomorrow. Instead of athletes, the field will be filled with a large quilt of sexual assault survivors and their stories. It's called the Monument Quilt. It will be on display from 9 a.m. to 7 p.m., and its goal is to provide support for survivors of rape and abuse.
I am so proud that because of all of the people who have come together to make this happen, that Ohio University is the first university to show the full quilt in the football stadium. And I think when people see it, they're going to understand what that means.
Head to Peden tomorrow to be part of this historic event.
And today in Athens, we did see some fall-like weather, almost cloudy skies and cooler temperatures. We didn't quite hit 70 today, which was a nice cool down. But this weekend, we'll have to get through a little bit warmer weather before we can get into the nice fall temperatures. As for tonight in Athens, we're looking at 55 degrees for the area. With winds that are light and variable, there is a slight shower possible later in the evening after 2 a.m., excuse me. We'll see that slight rain shower, so hopefully if you're out, you'll have that umbrella with you if you're at the library or anything like that. Don't worry about having a raincoat just quite early on in the day, but by 2 a.m. you should be prepared for a slight shower. Overnight, hour by hour, 62 degrees by 8 p.m. By midnight, we're going to look at 58, and by 4 a.m. we're staying steady at that 58. We'll hit cooler temperatures as we move into the earlier morning hours. As for the overnight lows for the area, 55 in Athens, like I said. Down in Ironton, some clear skies and 56 degrees, 55 up in Newark, 58 over in Cambridge, as well, and 57 in New Martinsville. As for the rest of the weekend, like I said, we're looking at some warmer temperatures. I know I'm excited definitely for a cooler week ahead. Josh, I don't know about you, definitely excited for fall.
I mean, I can't wait for these cooler temperatures. Looking like a nice week next week. Thanks, Adriana. West Virginia Attorney General Patrick Morsey is trying to involve more churches in dealing with drug abuse. Morsey organized another regional meeting at the Independent Bible Church in Martinsburg today. West Virginia has the nation's highest drug overdose rate, and state officials say overdose deaths rose nearly 18% last year. And the initiative's goal is to provide churches with information about addiction treatment and services. Toledo police say hospital workers revived a toddler with 3 doses of the drug naloxone. The 1.5-year-old boy tested positive for opioids. The child's mother says she found the boy unresponsive after a nap. And the boy's older brother also saw the toddler put a bag found at a neighborhood park in his mouth. Police are investigating how he got the drugs and overdosed. 13 people from Ohio are facing charges of bank fraud. The indictment alleges the defendants conspired to unlawfully negotiate checks and money orders from mail collection boxes. The crime happened in the Columbus area from September 2016 until this past August. Authorities say at least 4 defendants were once Postal Service employees. Co-conspirators allegedly cashed the stolen checks and money orders. Authorities estimate financial institutions lost at least $150,000. Ohio's Attorney General is rolling out a new police training tool. It's a simulation to help law enforcement practice for tense situations with fake guns. The state will make the training kit available for law enforcement agencies to check out, and the program launches next year. An Ohio bill fully legalizing fireworks is on to its next step. The House passed the bill yesterday, and it permits residents to shoot off fireworks any time of the week. Right now, Ohio residents are allowed to purchase fireworks in the state but they're required to take them out of the state within 48 hours.
It is legal today to purchase retail fireworks in the state of Ohio, but only on condition, wink, wink, nod, nod, say no more, that you discharge them out of state. Somehow, I have to believe a lot of people have been holding King's X behind their back when they purchase those fireworks.
The bill is headed to the Senate next week. Next. President Trump speaks out against the hurricane relief efforts in Puerto Rico, while wildfires continue to ravage parts of California. These stories and more when Newswatch returns.
Students really have a huge sense of pride in our campus, in our school, and in our education.
People don't come to Ohio just to go to college. They come here to become a Bobcat.
It's a really unique atmosphere.
Bobcat pride is having that natural camaraderie.
Bobcats are just happy to be Bobcats.
My favorite time of year at Ohio has to be homecoming.
When the alumni come back, you can see that the love of this university doesn't fade.
Once you're a Bobcat, you're always a Bobcat.
Hey everybody, I'm Gridiron Glory host Joseph Payton. Every Friday night live at 11:30, we will have a jam-packed show for you with everything that went down on the local gridiron that night. From every touchdown pass to every crushing hit, Gridiron Glory is your #1 source for all things Southeast Ohio football. So please be sure to tune into our show and also follow us on Twitter and Snapchat at Gridiron Glory, and of course like us on Facebook. I promise you won't want to miss out, because remember, there's nothing better than Friday nights and Gridiron Glory.
I knew that I wanted to come to Ohio University from the very first time I visited here.
There's something about the campus that grabs you.
It was really comforting.
Very welcoming. It's one thing to write down your name and your GPA and that kind of stuff and send it in. It's another thing entirely to be here and see how great it is. The campus here is just electric.
Absolutely gorgeous. Everything just looked really college-like.
I looked at my mom and I said, "This is it." And she said, "The tour's just started." I said, "No, you don't understand. This is it."
My professors really care. They care about my grades, they care about my opportunities, they care about my experiences, they want me to succeed.
They give those opportunities to the students.
My professors have been extremely approachable.
Literally, their door is always open.
You can go to them with pretty much anything.
Everyone knows your first and your last name and where you sit in the classroom.
I really never feel like I'm being talked down to or just being taught material. I always feel like I'm having a conversation.
And they want to share those opportunities and those experiences with us.
In the forecast and very little containment, first responders in Northern California are working hard on deadly wildfires. The fires have burned more than 170,000 acres statewide, and weather conditions are expected to make the fight even harder in the next several days. Omar Jimenez is in Santa Rosa with the latest.
Thousands of firefighters are on the ground in Northern California trying desperately to contain the spread of multiple deadly wildfires.
We have people that have been on that fire for over 3 days. They don't want to leave their section of line because there's still work to do. There's homes to save.
Fires have burned more than 191,000 acres across California, with the largest now in Sonoma, Napa, and Mendocino counties.
We're hoping that the weather continues to cooperate and be mild and allow us the opportunity to make good progress.
Evacuation advisory.
More than 20,000 people have been evacuated in the affected areas, including the entire city of Calistoga, California.
Your presence in Calistoga is not welcome if you are not a first responder. You will not be given life safety support at this point. You are on your own.
Even as searchers in Sonoma County have recovered some of the dead.
Identification is going to be hard. So far in the recoveries, we have found bodies that were almost completely intact, and we have found bodies that were nothing more than ash and bones.
Officials acknowledge there is so much more work that needs to be done.
It's a matter of what part of what fire do we have concerns, and there are numerous still for sure. We have a long way to go.
Weather forecasters in Northern California estimate there could still be smoke in the area until next Wednesday. President Trump sent out a tweet about the hurricane relief efforts in Puerto Rico. He tweeted federal emergency responders can't stay there forever. He also blamed Puerto Rico for its crumbling infrastructure and financial crisis. The comments come as the island still reels from a lack of electricity, public health access, and a rising death toll.
Tweet this morning, if it's his most recent, I don't know what's happened since we've come in the room, is heartbreaking. It's heartbreaking, and it lacks knowledge about what the role is of FEMA and the others in time of natural disaster, what our responsibility is as the federal government to the people of our country.
And a West Virginia Air National Guard team is heading to Puerto Rico. According to Guard officials, the 130th Airlift Wing will help provide interoperable voice data, video, and radio communications among local, state, and federal agencies involved in the U.S. territory's ongoing relief efforts. Young girls across the country are excited with the historic change to allow girls into the Boy Scouts. Hear their reactions coming up.
Summer's gonna end and fall is going to start. That and more ahead.
Professors really care. They care about my grades, they care about my opportunities, they care about my experiences, they want me to succeed.
They give those opportunities to the students.
My professors have been extremely approachable.
Literally, their door is always open.
You can go to them with pretty much anything. Everyone knows your first and your last name and where you sit in the classroom.
I really never feel like I'm being talked down to or just being taught material. I always feel like I'm having a conversation.
And they want to share those opportunities and those experiences with us.
Ohio University students really have a huge sense of pride in our campus, in our school, and in our education.
People don't come to Ohio just to go to college. They come here to become a Bobcat.
It's a really unique atmosphere.
Bobcat pride is having that natural camaraderie.
Bobcats are just happy to be Bobcats.
My favorite time of year at Ohio has to be homecoming.
When the alumni come back, you can see that the love of this university doesn't fade.
Once you're a Bobcat, you're always a Bobcat.
I knew that I wanted to come to Ohio University from the very first time I visited here.
There's something about the campus that grabs you.
It was really comforting.
Very welcoming.
It's one thing to write down your name and your GPA and that kind of stuff and send it in. It's another thing entirely to be here and see how great it is.
The campus here is just electric.
Absolutely gorgeous. Everything just looked really college-like.
I looked at my mom and I said, "This is it." And she said, "The tour's just started." I said, "No, you don't understand. This is it."
Hey everybody, I'm Gridiron Glory host Joseph Payton. Every Friday night live at 11:30, we will have a jam-packed show for you with everything that went down on the local gridiron that night. From every touchdown pass to every crushing hit, Gridiron Glory is your #1 source for all things Southeast Ohio football. So please be sure to tune into our show and also follow us on Twitter and Snapchat at Gridiron Glory, and of course like us on Facebook. I promise you won't want to miss out, because remember, there's nothing better than Friday nights and Gridiron Glory.
Welcome back to the Newswatch Weather Center. I'm Adriana Davies, and right now in Athens, we're looking at temperatures at 68 degrees. It is still really warm for this time of the year. Fall hasn't quite struck the Athens area just yet. Winds are light and variable and will stay that way throughout tonight as well. Taking a look at the almanac, we did hit a high of 69 today, whereas the normal is 66. So we are getting back into these average temperatures. Our lows are still a little bit higher. You can tell we had 55 as our low today, and 47 is the average low for this time of the year. Taking a look at the precipcast for today, there is an area of low pressure over Ohio right now that's going to keep that lingering rain shower chance into tomorrow, but we will see high pressure take over and dominate for the beginning of the weekend. So beautiful skies and warm temperatures still. So we're going to have to deal with this a little bit longer. Tonight our low is 55 degrees. Like I said, those rain chances are going to linger for just a little bit. If it is going to rain tonight, it's going to be after 2 a.m. and cloudy after that as well. Those winds are going to be light and variable throughout tonight. Taking a look around the region, 56 down in Ironton, 55 over in Newark, and 58 over in Cambridge as our overnight lows. Like I said, rain chances and then clouds increasing. As for Ironton, we're going to see some clear skies the further south you get. Our overnight hour by hour, 62 by 8 p.m., very warm for an overnight temperature. 58 by midnight, and then by 4 a.m., 58 degrees as well. The bus stop forecast, 58 just seems to be the trend. A cloudy start to the day, lingering rain chance throughout the morning as well, but the winds will be light and variable. It will be a little bit muggy to start the day as well, but as we move through, you can see 59 by 8 a.m. By noon, we're going to see 70 and then 76. So we're going to jump 20 degrees from our overnight low to our high for tomorrow. See no rain chances either, and beautiful skies as we move throughout the day. Tomorrow, 77 in Athens is our high. There is a stray shower, like I said, early in the morning, but we will see some clearing skies by the midday with no wind, which is going to make it a little bit warmer tomorrow. It's going to feel sticky. The weather you can wear is what we like to call it. The humidity is going to be a little bit higher as well. 80 degrees down in Ironton, 75 over in Newark, and 76 in Cambridge, 77 in Athens. As for our extended forecast, summer is just going to stick around a little bit longer, and then we'll see that nice drop off after a cold front will roll through on Sunday, bringing some rain. But 70 on Saturday. As for the rest of the week, it looks absolutely gorgeous. 60 degrees by Monday, Tuesday 64, and then Wednesday 69. We are going to get a little bit warmer into the end of next week, but definitely cooler temperatures than summer. Josh?
Thanks for the rundown, Adriana. The Boy Scouts will soon welcome girls into their ranks. The program announced the historic change yesterday. Girls across the country are sharing their excitement to join the Cub Scout program and pursue the highest rank of Eagle Scout. One Kansas girl, Leah Pamaticki, has wanted to join the Scouts ever since she could remember, and her father Ty is excited for her daughter to make the same memories as he did.
I was like, yes, finally! When I had daughters, I'm very excited. Everybody's happy when they have their kids, but I knew that that wasn't going to be something I got to share with them, and now it is, so it's pretty neat.
The Boy Scouts of America says the decision comes after years of getting requests from families and girls. Now we're going over to Tyler Corbett with a look at sports.
Thanks, Josh. Now, what's going on? I'm Tyler Corbett. In the Nationals last night, they forced a Game 5. And Northeastern Ohio baseball fans had another heartbreak to deal with in the postseason. The Indians, they suffered another tough loss, and the Cubs and Nationals will see who goes to the NLCS tonight.
Everybody, I'm Gridiron Glory host Joseph Payton. Every Friday night, live at 11:30, we will have a jam-packed show for you with everything that went down on the local gridiron that night. From every touchdown pass to every crushing hit, Gridiron Glory is your #1 source for all things Southeast Ohio football. So please be sure to tune into our show and also follow us on Twitter and Snapchat at Gridiron Glory, and of course like us on Facebook. I promise you won't want to miss out, because remember, there's nothing better than Friday nights and Gridiron Glory.
Ohio University students really have a huge sense of pride in our campus, in our school, and in our education.
People don't come to Ohio just to go to college. They come here to become a Bobcat.
It's a really unique atmosphere.
Bobcat pride is having that natural camaraderie.
Bobcats are just happy to be Bobcats.
My favorite time of year at Ohio has to be homecoming.
When the alumni come back, you can see that the love of this university doesn't fade.
Once you're a Bobcat, you're always a Bobcat.
My professors really care. They care about my grades, they care about my opportunities, they care about my experiences, they want me to succeed.
They give those opportunities to the students.
My professors have been extremely approachable.
Literally, their door is always open.
You can go to them with pretty much anything.
Everyone knows your first and your last name and where you sit in the classroom.
I really never feel like I'm being talked down to or just being taught material. I always feel like I'm having a conversation.
And they want to share those opportunities and those experiences with us.
I knew that I wanted to come to Ohio University from the very first time I visited here.
There's something about the campus that grabs you.
It was really comforting.
Very welcoming.
It's one thing to write down your name and your GPA and that kind of stuff and send it in. It's another thing entirely to be here and see how great it is.
The campus here is just electric.
Absolutely gorgeous.
Everything just looked really college-like.
I looked at my mom and I said, "This is it." And she said, "The tour's just started." I said, "No, you don't understand. This is it."
Welcome back, I'm Tyler Corbett. Now, starting with some national news, the heartbreak on the lake continued for some Cleveland sports fans last night. Flashbacks to last season, were on the minds of many Tribe fans as the Indians squandered yet another 2-game lead. The Yankees were able to torch Cy Young favorite Corey Kluber for 3 runs in 3 innings. Didi Gregorius launched 2 home runs off Kluber to give the Yanks a 3-0 lead that they would never look back from. The Indians were able to mount a small rally in the 5th inning to cut the lead down to only 1 run. Then the top of the 9th happened. The Yankees would tack on 2 extra runs to pull away and win the game 5-2. David Robertson would pick up the win in the decisive Game 5 after allowing no hits in 2 2/3 of an inning of work. The Yankees now travel to Houston to play the Astros on Friday. And now staying in the majors, another winner-take-all game will be played tonight. The reigning World Series champion Cubs will play in Washington against the Nationals tonight. The Cubs will put Kyle Hendricks on the mound. The Nationals will counter with Gio Gonzalez. The Cubs will need Anthony Rizzo and Chris Bryant to play like their last season's selves, while the Nationals hope that Bryce Harper is fully recovered from his injuries. Expect a low-scoring affair tonight as each team is putting their ace on the mound. First pitch is at 8:08. Tonight, the Ohio field hockey seniors will step onto Pruitt Field for the final time in their collegiate careers. Now, the season has not been the strongest for the Bobcats, but the team will be looking to send their seniors out in style tonight against Ball State. The Bobcats enter this game at 3-10 on the season, while Ball State is 4-8. It looks to be an even matchup for the Cats, and seniors Kennedy Farr, Rachel Coe, Maria Russell, and Megan Silviera will look to play strong games in their final game. The game starts at 5, so be sure to swing by and support the seniors. Ohio volleyball will take the court again Friday when the Toledo Rockets pay visit to the Convocation Center. Ohio comes into Friday's matchup riding the momentum of a 5-set victory against Eastern Michigan. Both the Bobcats and the Rockets have sub-500 records, with Ohio being 9-11 and Toledo coming in at 8-10. Each team will look at this as a chance to close the gap on teams ahead of them in the MAC. The game will be at 7 in the Convo. Ohio soccer will be in action this Friday at 4 in the afternoon against Chesapeake against Western Michigan. Ohio soccer is sitting at 1 game below 500 on the season with a 6-7-1 record. The Western Michigan Broncos travel to Athens with an 8-4-1 record. Now, Ohio just beat Akron 5-0 on Friday and are looking to turn the page on the season. Ohio will look to Hannah Jaggers to stay hot in front of goal to carry the Bobcats. Well, that's all I've got for sports. Now back to weather.
Thank you. Now tonight in Athens, 55 degrees is our low. Showers late in the evening, around 2 a.m. is the timing for that. As for tomorrow, 77 as our high. And taking a look at our extended day forecast, fall is in the forecast, which I'm excited about. Josh?
Great. Thanks, Adriana. I'm Josh Gregory, and that does it for our broadcast. Stay tuned for the PBS NewsHour coming up next. And remember, you can find the latest news anytime at woub.org. Have a great night.
Buddy, I'm Gridiron Glory host Joseph Payton. Every Friday night, live at 11:30, we will have a jam-packed show for you with everything that went down on the local gridiron that night. From every touchdown pass to every crushing hit, Gridiron Glory is your #1 source for all things Southeast Ohio football. So please be sure to tune into our show and also follow us on Twitter and Snapchat at Gridiron Glory, and of course like us on Facebook. I promise you won't want to miss out, because remember, there's nothing better than Friday nights and Gridiron Glory.